ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, all of you. Welcome back to our continuing study of this wonderful and great Prakarana Grantha titled Vivekachudamani, authored by the great Acharya Adi Shankaracharya, our revered Guru Swami Paramarthananda taught this wonderful text based on which we are committing ourselves to this study. We looked at the first two verses of this text. In the first verse, Adi Shankaracharya offers his respects, his maryada, his namaskarams to his exalted Guru, Govinda Bhagavad Padacharya, and in offering his Guru Namaskara, offers his Namaskaras to Ishvara. Govinda is another name for Sri Krishna, for Sri Narayana, for Mahavishnu. So Guru Namaskara is equated to Ishvara Namaskara and vice versa. Guru and Ishvara are essentially one and the same. As revealed in one of the shlokas of the Guru Prarthana that we recite, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So he began the text with the verse Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. And after offering his reverential namaskaras to not only his immediate Guru, but to every Guru that preceded his Guru right up to Narayana or Sadashiva. This is called a Mangala Charanam Shloka. In our tradition, it is a practice to reverentially invoke Ishvara's and Guru's grace to help us go through with our studies smoothly without any obstructions, without any pratibandhas or pratibandhas that will be given a stay order during the course of our study. It is not only meant for us students, but also expressed by the author of the book to enable him or her to complete the work that he set out to do, to complete it in its fullest form without any delay, without any obstructions. So, Guru and Ishvara Namaskaras primarily serve these two causes, these two purposes. This is an auspicious beginning. Then, in the second shloka, Adi Shankaracharya highlighted the importance and the rareness of human birth, of Manushya Janma. We have studied the second shloka in quite some detail. And I hope the message that Shankaracharya wants to convey has hit home. The fact that we are blessed with this human birth implies that we have invited upon ourselves Ishvara's enormous grace. Because Adi Shankaracharya at the end of the shloka says, Punyair vina labhyate. In other words, without sufficient punyam in our bank of dharma, achieving this human birth is not possible. Then Shankaracharya went on to enlist the stages through which the human being, especially the serious spiritual seeker, ought to travel if he or she has to benefit from being born a human. Shankaracharya gave us very clearly the rungs of the spiritual ladder that we need to step on in this Rajamarga. He mentioned Pumstvam, then he said Viprata, then he said Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata. Each is a more important step than the previous one. Then he said Vidvatvam. Then he went on to say Atmanatma Vivechanam. And then Swanubhavaha Brahmatmana Samsthitihi. And then came the clincher. He said, Muktir Naha Shata Janma Koti Sukritaihi Punyair Vina Labhyate. He said, if this mukti, Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti, otherwise moksha, the Parama Purushartha has to be achieved in this Janma. Because we have been rolling over several millions of human Janmas, leave alone other species. So if this has to be achieved in this Janma, before we breathe our last, Shankaracharya said categorically that we necessarily have to have deposited enough punyam, not in one janma or two janmas, shatakoti janma sukrutaihi. There must be sufficient punyam in the bank after writing off a lot of papas that were generated due to dushkarma. So we ought to be dharmikas to even qualify to step into the moksha marga. So all these were clearly given out, taught to us with an intention to create awareness in us and value this enormous gift bestowed on us by Ishvara. As Swamiji would say, let us learn to count our blessings. There are bundles and bundles of blessings that sometimes go by unnoticed. We seem to ignore these blessings until it becomes too late in this Janma, when one has to say better luck next Janma if your punyam blesses you with a human Janma to take this journey forward. But there is one big concession that our scriptures give us, which is always heartening, encouraging, and that is whatever good you have engaged yourself in will always be accumulated in the bank. It is never lost. Ishvara's computer, Maha computer, keeps track of every micro move on our part. We can always pick up the thread in a future human Janma and move forward. But the idea is that we must value this present Janma as a present. That is the intention of Shankaracharya and all our gurus who have worked hard to pass down this wonderful teaching, who are continuing to work hard even now. All of us are blessed to be in the midst of such great and revered gurus as Swami Paramarthananda and the rest. So we must hold on to these anchors and dip into, step into, and then dip into and swim in our Akhanda Nanda nature. In the next shloka, in shloka number 3, in verse number 3, Shankaracharya will continue in the same vein as he began in verse number 2, talking about the rareness of human birth, in which he will talk about the importance of earning Ishvara's grace, and it is because of Ishvara's grace that a few things are achieved, which we will look at in the following capsules. Hari Om.